off with. And, we have no control about, how woke or unwoke or how, politically right or left any of these software engineers are when they're originally programming this stuff. And then, as you said, it going to make us all lazy. I mean, look at me. I don't have to think anymore. I just have to put a stupid question in a computer. And if it's driving my car for me and making all the decisions, open the fridge, it will say, oh, there's not a lot of stuff in here. What would you like today? I'd like to have spaghetti bolognese. Well, I'll just order that for you, and I'll close the fridge.
But also, remember how people used television to babysit their kids, and now they use an iPad to babysit their kids? So to your point on lazyism and pussies and men not being men, this is what's going to happen now. Now we're going to have, listen, you go play with the artificial intelligence. And once again, do your job. And artificial intelligence isn't going to teach a young man or a young woman how to be a young gentleman or a young lady.
Exactly right.
Right? Yeah. And that's the problem.
It's the
and that's what people don't understand.
The breakdown of family structures is the thing. Yeah. As you said very clearly, the parenting, the values, how you interact with people, it's all falling apart. And we're going through this. Wokeism is basically the overthinking of society, I guess, and it's going to last for a little while, and it's going to dissipate when we start getting more fixed ideas, and when we realize that wokeism, the results of wokeism, not wokeism itself, but the results of wokeism are actually destroying society. There's no difference between wokeism and the Taliban destroying statues that have existed for 10,000 years. It's the same thing.
Nope. Yeah, no,
100%. I'd have to agree with that as well. Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Why would you erase history? I mean, depending on which history you read, we were more advanced 10,000 years ago. Some great cataclysm happened. I was listening to the Joe Rogan thing as well. Sort of, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, he had this figure of between 8,000 to 10,000 years. There was some cataclysmic event where all science and technology basically went backwards. Now, whether that happened on purpose, whether it was wiped out, whoever knows, whatever knows. But to actively want to cancel people, to cancel history, to change history, to going forward, you could do a lot of things going forward, but to look back and sort of the opposite of golden age thinking. Golden age thinking was when you look back 100 years ago or 500 years ago, and you always thought, oh, the world was a better place. I wish it was like that again. I mean, I'm a golden age thinker. I wish I was born 150 years ago. And now wokeism is all about, everything that's happened is total nonsense, is total rubbish. Everything important that happened can be chiseled away, turned around, moved around. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think we're going to end up slapping ourselves in the face and correcting that. I already think that we are in post-wokeism. If you listen to prominent celebrities like Dave Chappelle, they absolutely take this apart with humor, and that's the way it needs to be taken apart. It needs to be dismantled that way. This thinking is this self-obsessive, I'm a victim thinking in every single sense. Terrible.
No. So two questions. So 2 points, if I can. First of all, the statue thing. Because, of course, we had that here recently, didn't we? And everybody's like, oh, don't you agree with them pulling down all the statues of former slave traders or whatever? And I'm like, well, no, not really, because no statue ever called me Packy. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't got anything against the statues. If anything, you can put a little plaque on the statue and explain what the statue is about, and maybe that will increase people's awareness rather than just knocking them down and trying to raise history.